Welcome to the Sharpway Show. It's a very special Sharpway Show today. Yes, it is a tad special. It is 2 p.m. on the East Coast, and it's a Monday. I know, kind of weird. I agree. It is odd for me to be doing this, but something struck me over this weekend, and I thought I had to say something yet again. And it's because of this New York City subway thing, which has affected me personally because I live here. I'm on the subway. I see this all the time. They're protesting in the streets, shutting down the subways. It is affecting me personally. Is a Marine involved? I mean, so I started thinking about it. Now, I know some of you who are watching going, but wait a minute, all right, wait a minute. You talking about Andrew Tate? And I know that's weird. You're right. I've never spoken about Andrew Tate before. Why? I didn't really know much about him, to be very forward with you. I always thought of Andrew Tate as some guy who does like how to pick up chicks. Like that type of guy is what I thought he was back in the day when I had first heard about him. And I thought, oh, okay, I guess he's making money helping guys pick up chicks. Good for him. I moved on. I do my thing. He does his, whatevs. That's kind of how I thought of Andrew Tate, back when he first started coming out. I didn't think negative or positive. I just thought he's a guy helping guys pick up chicks. Good luck. That's what I thought. So I never really mentioned him. But he started to become more popular. Then I heard of him either through somebody else's videos or something, but his stuff never popped up in my feed because he wasn't someone that I looked out or was concerned with. Again, at that point, no shade on him, just didn't know. And then he became, in my eyes, as like one of the guys who's making money in the manosphere. If you know what the manosphere is, it's basically many men who are talking about how to be more macho or to be more masculine, women aren't good, or how to control women, that kind of thing. Or that's not always true. Some people in manosphere are that way. Some are just like, look, be a powerful man and women will come to you, that kind of thing. So depends upon the person in the manosphere you're talking about, but there is definitely some misogyny in the manosphere. Not all of it is, obviously, but some of it is. It seemed like his stuff was. Now, again, I didn't watch a lot of his stuff, but that's what I was getting, that his stuff was totally misogynistic. So I thought, oh, all right, well, he's one of those guys. It's what I thought. I'll leave him alone. And it didn't bother. Then he gets either arrested or I think he was arrested in Romania. Supposedly it's child issues or trafficking issues or something. Now, people say, well, Larry, how can you talk about that guy? He's got those charges. To be very forward with you, if you know me at all, I don't care about charges. Charges means nothing to me. Let me see some evidence, a conviction, maybe. Charges mean nothing. I don't care if you're arrested for something. I don't care if you're charged for something. I don't care. I don't care if you're indicted for something. I do not care. That has no value to me. I've seen how this government puts innocent people away literally every day of the week. So that part doesn't bother me. The things that he says, that's different, right? That's different. But the fact that he's charged, people always do that. Well, he's arrested. I don't care. That means nothing. The question is he a bad guy or not? And even if he is he right on something? And even if he is, why are millions, with an S, of people following him? And not just hate following him, giving him money, worshiping him, following him, saying like things like he's my savior and he saved my life, all these things. And I was like, wait a minute, what is going on here? But again, I still didn't really spend much time on it. What happened? I have been talking about this New York City subway thing, both online, friends, did a video with Lou Rossman yesterday on this, talking about this issue, did one last week. And I guess the algorithms, Mr. Al, picked this up and then finally put some Andrew Tate stuff in my feed. I'd never had Andrew Tate stuff in my feed before. So when it popped up, I'm like, why did the algorithm put that up? He did a video on the New York City subway problem. So I watched it. I was like, whoa, okay. Does Andrew have some insight that I don't know? Is he going to say, be the macho man and beat people up or something like that? That's what I assumed, right? I assumed he's going to say, you should have gone in there and beat the guy up or whatever. That's what I assumed he was going to say. He did not say that. I was wrong. Andrew Tate did not say that. I was wrong. I misjudged that aspect of him. But when I watched the video, now I'm going to show you in a second. It's a short video. It isn't that long at all. Under 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes. What I saw was very telling, not just with him, but with our society and our culture and what's going on. It made me think I should say something, because watching this video, and it's the only one of his I've watched. To be clear, he may have other stuff that's amazing or terrible. I don't know. This one I watched because it has something to do with me. Totally selfish. That's why I watched it. But it did make me think differently about what he's doing, and that kind of thing. And so if I can, I'm about to pop it on. But guys, if you know it's going to be good, you know it is. And do me that favor, click that like button. It does matter. I know you guys think it doesn't matter, but it really does matter. Click the like button. I got to get past the algorithms that put this in front of me. Well, I want them to put me in front of others. How does that work? Click the like button. Do that. If you're watching on Twitter right now, retweet this. Literally retweet it right now. I'm about to go in the video so you'll see it. Please do so. If you want your chat to come up to the front, you're watching on YouTube, super chat me at Larry Sharpe YouTube. That also works. Any of those ways, please do that right now to help me out. It's free. Doesn't cost you anything. Please do that if you can so we can move forward. All right, if I can, I'm going to try to see if I can do this the right way, and I will try to share this if I can. Can I get full screen on this? Maybe I can. And let me try to present this effectively. It's off of Rumble because he's not on anything else. He's not on Rumble. Let's see if I can get that. And share the audio. And let's give this a yes. And let's give this a shot. All righty, here we go. If you guys can hear it, let me know if you can.
I'm being asked the same question repeatedly, and people don't like my answer. Because usually people come to me as a bastion of knowledge. They come to me for very simple, concise, compendious answers to the world's problems. We have this extremely complicated problem that no one else can solve. Let's go to Tate, and he'll fix it in less than a sentence.
Now, the part of this that immediately got me is, one, he has no shirt on. Gotta hand it to him. Should I try that? I'm not sure I get away with that. I mean, I'm not in bad shape, but I'm not like him. So I'm just saying, anyway, but impressive. The guy shows, again, I never saw his videos before. Shows up, no shirt on. Impressive. But he says off the bat, people come to me to solve the world's problems. I thought to myself, for someone to say that, is that an act? Does he really believe it? Either one of those things, but either way, say he believes it. He thinks he's the smartest guy in the world, or it's just an act, whichever. 1 million people in just Rumble are following him. 1.1 million are following him and watching this video. They're not thrown by that. They're not angry at him about it. There's a bunch of people who go, yeah, that guy's right. He knows everything. Wow. What did that tell me immediately? There are a lot of people who really want their problem solved. And they just want someone like Andrew Tate or anyone else who is going to be bold and brash to tell them, I got you, let me solve your problem. More and more people are feeling that, particularly young men. That's why they're following him. This guy has the answers. He will solve our problems. Let's follow him. And wow. And what if he is the bad guy and the misogynist? This is the guy we want to follow? I mean, hopefully he's not. I don't know, but think about that. Think about that. So Stephen goes on to say, when I say a huge hat like that, I'm actually assuming he's hiding a swastika. Maybe, yeah, but I mean, this could be a little Sig Heiley. I mean, it could be. Just listen. Let me keep going if I can.
I'm the greatest human alive. And I'm doing that, but people aren't seeming to understand my answer. So let me explain it to you.
It's going to help us out.
The question I'm being asked is different versions of what would you do in this scenario? Yep. The guy choking the guy on the subway. Would you have choked him? How long would you have choked him for? Or some other video of some fight on a plane. What would you have done, Andrew? What's the right thing to do?
And the part that I like about this is I believe him. I don't think he's lying. I think there are plenty of young men who literally either text him or connect to DM him or write him emails or whatever saying, hey, Andrew Tate, what should we do? What's the right answer? I don't think he's lying here. I think this actually happens. And the question is, why are they asking him? It's a serious question. Why aren't they asking their dad, their mother, their sister, their cousin, their father, their granddad, somebody? They're asking him, neighbor, clergyman.
Road rage fights in gas stations, all this shit. Without going into specifics, it's actually quite a difficult question to answer. If I was on that subway and that guy was being a dickhead, I would try my very best to ignore him. I wouldn't want to be a superhero because I understand that in New York, the government, who I pay taxes to, will destroy my life and lock me away for trying to protect other New Yorkers.
Now, this is the part that I said. This is the part that Lou Rossman said. This is the part that some people who don't live in New York City don't understand. He is correct. New York City punishes you for trying to do the right thing, punishes you for engagement. Let me say that again. New York City punishes you for doing the right thing, punishes you for engaging. You are punished for it. This is a random guy from England. He knows that. I know that. Lou Rossman knows that. That's why you try to ignore. That's why you wonder, why do New Yorkers watch as some woman is sexually assaulted or even raped on a train? Why? Because if you try to stop it, you go to jail. I know for some of you, your mind is blown, but that's how New York City works. He knows it too. You go to jail if you help out the person literally who's being raped. The cops will come in and go, what did you do? Why didn't you call the cop? She was being raped. Why didn't you call the cop? Because she was being raped. You should have called the cop. You're going to jail. How dare you hit him? How dare you strike him? Whatever. He was probably having an episode. He was probably a homeless man with mental illness. How dare you stop him from raping some woman? I'm not joking. That is how New York City works. Even he knows it. Tate's right on this one. God, I can't believe I said that. But I did. This one, he's right. Lou Rossman knows it. I know it. We all know it.
So I would sit there and just think, fuck it. But if it got to a point where he attacked me or attacked an old lady or something, which I really believed I truly had to intervene, I would have hit him, likely. I wouldn't have choked him for 10, 15 minutes. I would have hit him probably once, knocked him out.
Oh, this kid is dangerous! Like
now, this is about the point.
He will knock you out!
Well, who says that wouldn't have killed him?
As pompous as he is saying this, he's actually correct. One punch from a trained or aggressive or strong person could kill someone, even if it isn't. What if you hit that person and then they fall down, hit their head on something, and they die? That happens all the time. That kind of thing happens all the time. What if he had punched him and the guy died? The issue here is, sadly, to the part of the Marine, I believe, I don't know this to be true, but my thought process, because of the other people helping him, is the Marine thought that grabbing him by the neck and controlling his head was safer than beating him. Clearly, he was wrong, and that was, of course, he shouldn't have done it. That was wrong. But I think he believed, that's my assumption. He thought, I'll choke the guy, he'll pass out, right? That's what I'll do. I'll do a sleeper hold on him, he'll pass out, and that's how I'll stop him without having to beat him. I think the Marine believed that. Clearly, it was wrong, and Tate knows I would just punch him. But what if you punch him and the guy dies anyway? Is your life now ruined? What are your choices?
All I know is Dimmock. All I know is the moral touch. You know, if I hit somebody, they're in big trouble. It ain't some fucking dumb shit. Everyone I've ever hit has had serious damage. If I hit some fucking chump, he might be done. I don't know how to throw half a punch.
To be forward with him, I don't think anyone knows how to throw. I don't know how to throw half a punch either. Not like I'm a big fighter or anything, but I don't know how to throw half a punch. If I was going to hit somebody, I'd hit him with all my might because it's what I would do, right? That's what I think most people would do. If you're going to hit somebody, you're going to try to knock them down, right? Otherwise, why are you going to hit them? It's a valid point. Now, there are parts of this that I really want to bring up here and that really matter. He's just being pompous. I get it. He's just being pompous. He is. But the piece that he's bringing up, which is very important, is that you have to accept being bullied if you're going to be on the New York City subway. You have to accept that. You have to accept that there's not going to be a good option. This part he's right about, and he's also bringing up that you're being punished for engagement, which means we're encouraging disengagement. He says it too. I just want to avoid.
So all these scenarios are difficult, right? People are asking me, Tate, what would you do here? What would you do there? And I'm trying to explain all the nuance of it. But truthfully, there's a simple answer.
Simple answer.
And the simple answer I give, because like I said, I like to be compendious. I want to give an answer in one sentence. I don't want to go through the specifics of each scenario. Andrew, look at this road rage event.
You've been talking for like 10 minutes.
Specifically, would you have hit him? How hard would you have hit him? Would you have held the choke for this long? Blah, 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 blah. All of these situations are brokey situations. So I explained to people.
What did he just say? All these situations are brokey situations. And for those who don't know what brokey means, it means you are broke. Poor people. He literally says it. And you might say, Larry, that's cruel. Yeah, you're right. It is. What he just said is cruel. 100% true. And he's right. And that one word story of brokey is agreed upon by both the left and the right. The left speaks nicer about the brokies. The right doesn't speak as nice about brokies, but the elites believe it. He's just saying the quiet part out loud. That's the truth. He's saying the quiet part out loud. Do you think that the elites in New York State care about the people who have to ride the subway? Not at all. If they did, they'd fix it. Because according to him, these are brokey problems, and he's right.
The simple answer is don't be poor. I mean, what do you mean? What do you mean? What do I mean? Why the fuck are you on a subway? Well,
this is what our elites actually think. This is why this struck me so hard. He's just being a pompous jerk going, I'm super cool guy. I got it. But if he was sitting next to any elite Democratic or Republican politician, they would shake their head and would go, yep, that's it. Assuming the camera wasn't on. If the camera wasn't on, every single Republican and Democrat elitist would sit next and go, yep, you're right. Goddamn brokies. They'd be saying the same thing. The same thing. There's no difference. They believe it. That's the one-word story I bring up all the time. Is a one-word story, right? You're the thing. You're dumb, or you're smart, or you're this, or you're a racist, or you're a communist. You're the one-word thing. The one-word thing they all agree upon is brokey. Yes, he's right. I hate that he's right. I hate saying that Andrew Tate is right. And he's right. And he's right. And every elitist in the Democrat-Republican Party agrees with him 100%. They won't say it out loud, but they absolutely agree with him. 100%. That's what they believe.
Get to work because you're broke. Subways are for brokies. The world has now changed. You can no longer safely be a brokey.
Now, hear what he just said. Two things that when I listened, I was like, my God, he could literally be a Democrat-Republican politician. He could. Do you remember when I think it was the guys from Key and Peele? I forgot which actor. He did Barack Obama's anger translator or something. I forgot the joke. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? When a guy comes out and he says what Obama really means when Obama talks. Tate could be that for virtually any politician. Virtually any politician. Just come out and do it. Yeah, what I mean is you guys are broken poor and I don't care about you. That's what I mean. My policies, hey, you guys are broken poor, I don't care about you. He literally says the subways are brokies. Haven't I said that in some form for literally years? I'm the one who told you, if you were listening to me, I'm the one who told you that if you go into New York City and Manhattan, the wealthy people, they're not in the subways. If you go down Park Avenue, I don't know if it's still that way since the lockdowns, but prior to lockdowns, you go down Park Avenue where all the banks are, look to the left and right, and what do you see down each street? And some of you remember this, if you remember this time, like 2019, 2018, it may still be true. I haven't really checked it recently. Black cars all along the streets along Park Avenue. Why black cars? Those are all the limo services where all the bankers have. I'm not joking. They sit there all day. They have drivers. All the wealthy people have drivers. They're not going to Subway. He's right. They don't go to Subway. They still don't. And then they try to stop other people. Some of you remember in New York, they had a thing called VIA. VIA was basically the average, or the brokey, the average person's car service. It literally was like a bus, right? But it'd be someone's car, and they would drive from place to place with stops. And if there was a space, you pop in their car and drive you place to place with stops, similar to a bus. It was like $5, and you go wherever you want to in New York City. They got rid of that. They want to force you to get in the bus with the brokies. That's their thought process. That's their thought process. I'm the one who said, why don't we instead allow nighttime, the subway service, to bring in freight? This way, Amazon and FedEx and Google, all those companies will have to then rebuild the subway system and then pay for freight access, which will lower the cost for the average person to come on to the subway and have a safer, better subway. Why? Because they'll want safe subways. Not because they care about you. They don't. Amazon doesn't care about you. Neither does Google. None of them care about you. But they care about their freight. They care about freight. They don't care about you. So I'm saying put the freight and you on the same lines, and then all of a sudden you get safety. Not because they care about you. Because Tate is right. They don't care about you either. So what do? I align their interests with our interests, the brokies, and then we all get good service. What do the big heavy hitters say? We'll just spend more money on a service that they'll never use. And you wonder why it never gets better. Because they don't use it. That's the reason. They don't use it. That service is for you people. I'm going to tell you something to make some people unhappy. This is the same with Medicare for all. Why do you think so many of the elites want Medicare for all instead of allowing everyone to get the best private health care that all the wealthy people get? Why are they about Medicare for all? Because that's for the brokies. You guys get the bad health care. You'll get the VA for all, which is bad health care. You'll get that, and we'll still keep all our private doctors. That's what they are. Tate's totally. I've never really watched Tate stuff before. I thought it was a lot like picking up chicks and stuff. Is what I thought it was. And it might still be, but he's still right.
You could have been a brokey in the 1960s and lived a safe, relatively calm, normal life. But if you're no longer rich, it's not just about the fact that I get to wear diamond watches and drive all these supercars and fly on private jets. It's about the fact that I get to avoid 99.9% of dumb shit.
Now, these two things, again, you may not understand where I'm coming with this, but I'm going to take you down this road right now. Two things he said. He said, you can't be safe and be broke. He's right. He's right. Because you don't get good health care. That's true. He's validating all the things the socialists say. If I know a lot of you who watch me are not socialists, you're libertarians, you can't stand the idea of socialism. I'm not saying socialism is the correct answer at all. I'm not saying any of that. What I'm saying is he's validating what they're saying. Socialists are saying the system doesn't work and the poor people are hammered and it's literally dangerous and you got to be free from all these problems. Yes, they're right. He's saying it. He's going, we don't care about you guys. You get caught in all the dumb shit and whatever. How are you supposed to grow your life, your family, your business, if you're caught in, quote, to quote Andrew Tate, all the dumb shit? He's right. And if you've had to fight this at all, if you've been in a spot in your life where all of a sudden there is that kind of stuff happening in your life, it sometimes stifles every part of what you do. What happens when your cousin, your friend, your brother, all these things start getting into problems and issues and concerns? They're getting arrested. They're getting in trouble. You're getting audited. Your phone doesn't work. You got trouble paying your rent. It destroys everything. How are you supposed to move forward? How are you going to concentrate on your schoolwork, on your family, taking care of your other kids? He's right. It validates what all the socialists keep saying. But the problem is Democrats don't have an answer. Republicans don't care. Democrats don't care either. Democrats do talk better about it. They'll give them that. Democrats do talk better about it, but neither one of them cares because in their eyes, we're all brokies. That's brokey problems. Tate's saying the quiet part out loud. 100%. He's saying it's not safe to be. He's right. He's right. This is for the brokies. He's right. And I would ask you, every single person who's trying to fix this, Republicans have no answers. They just go, whatever, bootstraps, whatever. Democrats go throw more money at the poors, give them bad service. I was the only person saying, how do I give the same good service that wealthy people get to others? How do I share the services that the wealthy get with others? I want everyone to have good service. I don't want the wealthy have their good service and the poor people have garbage, which is what we have now. And we're going to keep doing that. It's just getting worse. It's just getting worse. he is validating that entire thing. The whole piece really made me think here's the best part. He's saying it. He's insulting everybody who's not wealthy, and they're watching him. They're like, yeah, let me give you more of my money. They're watching him.
Dumb shit in which I'm in a scenario where there's no easy answer. Both moves I make are wrong. Do I go to jail? Do I let this guy punch this woman? Do I risk getting stabbed? Do I hit him first? All this shit is avoided.
Listen to what, oh my God. Listen to what he just said. I cannot tell you how much I love this. Because what he's literally saying, if you're not rich, you're put in positions to where there's no win. There's no win situation. Do you go to jail? Do you get stabbed? Do you watch somebody get stabbed? There's no good situation. It's lose no matter what you do. He's right. I wish, and it's going to sound terrible, I wish that politicians were more honest and would just say this. So yeah, I became a politician because I want to make money. I don't care. I don't care about you people. I don't care. Because most of them feel that way. And some of you remember one of the reasons why after I ran in 2018, I ran again in 2022, getting my ass kicked handily, was because in 2018, I met so many politicians who actively hated their constituency. And I mean, hated them. Like, why do people want roads and stuff? I have money to make. I've got grifting to grift. I've got friends I have to give jobs to. I don't care about these people who want like roads and like safe housing. And that gets in my way. I'm trying to make money. I wish they would just be like, look, I don't care about you guys. You were dumb enough to vote me in. Now I'm just going to take all the money until I get voted out. I would respect that more. I don't respect any of them anyway, but at least I'd respect that more. I respect his honesty. I mean, he's clearly not a good guy. I mean, for that regard, it's clear. But I respect his honesty. He's like, hey, I'm rich. You're not. You suck. Give me more money. And people are like, here's more money. Here's more money. Here's the next piece. Think of how broken we are as a society that this man can sit here, tell us to our face that we are brokies, that we are not as cool as him, that he's smarter than us, that he's better than us, and that we're all screwed. And we still follow him, give him money. I don't mean me and you necessarily, but clearly millions of people do. Give him money, support him, and make sure things go well. How broken is our society if that's true? Wow. Wow. I want to take 1 second, if I could, guys, to remind you, if you like what I'm saying, please click that like button. It really does matter. You got to click it. Click that like button right now if it makes sense. If you're watching on Twitter, retweet this right now. I got a couple of minutes of this, and then we'll be done with it, but a couple of minutes if you could. And of course, if you're on YouTube, your chat get to the front. Super chat me on YouTube if you're watching on YouTube. And if you want to support me the way everyone supports Andrew Tate, I will not yell at you and call you names. I mean, and if you want me to, if you ask me to, I will. But unless you ask, I'm not going to call you names and call you brokies and whatever. I'm not going to do that stuff. However, if you want to support me, you can. Either support this show, patreon.com/sharpway. Helps tremendously. $10 a month goes a whole long way to keep your stuff going. Or also support the actual shift that I'm trying to make in New York State to get a third party to break this monopoly in New York State, to give us an actual fighting chance to put all the policies I talk about into play. LarrySharpe.com/donate. Give what you can give to make sure we move forward. Otherwise, click that like button. It's free and it helps. Let me keep going if I can.
Me videos of some people fighting on a plane, and I'll send you back a video of me on a private jet.
Look at him.
You send me videos of some bullshit on a subway, I'll remind you that I haven't ridden a subway in 10 years, and I'm never going to ride a subway ever again for the rest of my fucking life.
And this is why I mentioned before, when I think it was Bloomberg who decided he was going to take the subway to work every day when he became mayor. That was a huge deal. Why? Why would it be a big deal for some mayor to go, I'm taking the subway to work every day? Because rich people don't take the subway. And Bloomberg is a billionaire. For him to do that is a big deal. Now, to be forward, he went with his security detail. He didn't go by himself, right? He went with his security detail. But the fact that he did was a big deal in New York. Right? It was a big deal. Yes, it did matter. So let me keep going if I can.
So I don't give a shit how many psychos are on the subway, whether they're Michael Jackson impersonators or drug addicts or Looney Tunes. I'm sure it's full of them. I will never encounter these people. I will never be in these scenarios, ever. ever. Someone comes to me and goes, what do I do on the subway? Don't ride the subway. Get rich. Oh yeah, but. The world has changed to the point where being rich is no longer just about material possessions. It is a necessity, it is vital for survival.
Now, I got to cover so much on this one. So much on this one. The first thing is, he is literally, even he is now encouraging. He is encouraging disengagement. He's like, don't bother fixing it. Don't even try. Just leave it alone. Let the brokies die. That's what he's actually saying. Don't fix it. It's not worth it. Just go get rich. Now, the problem with that is, okay, maybe he's right, maybe he's not. I could see your opinion on that either way. But what he's actually saying is, ignore your community. That's what he's saying. Ignore your community. This is also what the government's saying. This is what everybody in power is saying. Ignore your community. Either worship government, that's option one, or two, worship yourself. Worship yourself and become rich. One or the other. Or in his case, worship him. It also works. I'm sure he's happy for that also, right? Any of those three work, right? Worship him, worship yourself, or worship government. But forget community. Community's stupid. That's what he believes. That's what government believes. They're all in tandem. They're all the same person. This guy, as whatever you think of him, he's your mayor or your governor or your congressman or your councilman. That's who he is. He's just more open about it and feels comfortable not wearing a shirt. That's about it. Otherwise, they're the same guy, same gal. They're the same. He's saying don't do it, but something else. He's literally bullying you, isn't he? He's saying, I don't care, just get rich. I don't care. He's bullying you. So does the government. So do the criminals. Everywhere you go, you're getting bullied. Panhandlers bully you. The protesters, yes, who are supposed to be the good guys, as they shut down the subway. They shut down the subway yesterday, got on the train tracks, shut the subway down in New York City. I'm not joking. That actually happened yesterday. Who they hurt? The brokies. He said it. Nobody rich was on that subway. He didn't affect any. They didn't affect any rich guys on the subway. They were in their cars. They were like, oh, the poors are fighting in the subway, whatever. Jeeves 3 times around the block. That's what they were doing. They didn't care what people were doing at all. So all he did was hurt more people who were brokies, just like them. He's right. So now we're fighting amongst ourselves as we get bullied by everyone around us. Bullied by everyone around us. Now we fight ourselves. We won't even fight our own bullies. He's making millions. The government's making millions. All the other people who are making millions. I'm the guy trying to get them to voluntarily share their wealth, and I'm the bad guy too. I get bullied by the state. Same thing. But he said something else which really matters. Which he said that now in today's world, you have to be rich. I hate that. I hate that. But he's right. You want good health care. You want a good lifestyle. You don't want to have to worry about bad things happening to you. You got to be at least well off. Yeah. Yes. The system has to change. And for those of you who are not socialists, like I am not a socialist at all. I'm not. Socialists tend to like me because I have respect for them, because I see what they're talking about, and they're often right in what they're talking about. And this is true. I just think my ideas are better ideas. That's my opinion. Some disagree with me. But I want to fix problems. That's what I want to do. If you're on the right, most of the time all you do is say, and I should say mainstream right. If you're mainstream right, all you say is bootstraps. That's all you say. Wokeism's bad and bootstraps. If you're on the left, what do you usually say? I don't mean far left. I mean the mainstream left. What do you say? Trump bad. Instead of wokeism bad, it's Trump bad. And throw more money at a government program. That's it. Those are the answers. None of those two are true. We need fundamental change. That is accurate. We must have fundamental change, or he is correct. Andrew Tate is correct unless we have fundamental change. That's the biggest issue. And this little protesting in the subways is not going to do it.
It's literally vital for you to live a calm and balanced, nice, peaceful life, for you to be a person who has a lot of money.
I wish he was wrong. I wish I could sit here and point out how wrong he is, but he is not. Andrew Tate, I keep saying it again, is correct. He is correct. The sad part is, though, can we do it by bringing everybody up together? Can we bring our communities up? I say yes. Every idea and plan I've come up with has been able to support the community and move them up. In every single case, I have created an environment where that will work better and as it possibly can. The government does not do that. He doesn't do that. No bullies do that. The only way you can get rich nowadays, I'm exaggerating a bit, but the most common way you get rich now is by abandoning your community, by abandoning others, by basically being the sociopath that he talks about here. That's one of the best ways you do it. That's not how it should work. You should be able to start a small business, to start a small nonprofit. You should be able to have a decent job. You should be able to do these things easily without government bullying you, without people like him bullying you, without your officials bullying you, without the people bullying you. You should be able to go out there and make a living and be wealthy, be well off. That should be possible. You can see, again, the data is in. It's the least possible now that it's ever been. And you wonder why the young are running towards socialism. Because there's no other answer for them. We don't provide them with one. I mean, I do, but I'm the only guy. No one else does. You know who else provides an answer for them? Andrew Tate. The reason why Tate and people like him are working is they provide an answer. And the answer is, you aren't strong enough. That's their answer. Now, that's not a good answer. It's not a good answer. But when you have no answer and someone gives you an answer, you tend to take the answer that's there, particularly if you're young. And you don't get it, and you're a male looking for a positive, manly role model. He is whether you like him or not, he is a manly role model. Guy shows up, no shirt on, strong, punching people, do this, do that, get off your ass, young man, do this, do that. Oh my God, that is what young men want. They want someone older, someone of strength and stature to say, get off your ass and do the thing. And if you do, I'll pat you in the head and go, well done. You might go, liar, that's stupid. No, that's human. That is exactly what young men want. I know I was a young man. If you were a young man, you know what I'm talking about. It's what you wanted. You wanted someone. And for those of us who were lucky, I was not one of them. Some people had fathers or grandfathers or uncles in their lives that were able to fill that gap. And if you had that, you were able to get that from that family member. A lot of us, me included, did not have that. We had to go search to find it someplace else. I was lucky. I didn't find it in a guy like him. I found it in my Marine Corps leadership when I joined at 17. That's where I found it. But some people don't find it until they get into a gang. Or they find him. Or they find some other one. But we're all young men are looking for it. And if we don't have more fathers and uncles and grandpas in the family for these young men, it is not going to work. It's not going to work. In any case, this is why he's doing what he's doing and why it's working.
Because the world's fucked. And as it continues to get more and more fucked, as people become more and more broke and more emotional and more upset and more divided, it's just going to...
He's right. Everything he's saying is correct. Everyone can see it. If you're listening to this, you're like, yes, he's right. We're literally having shootings now in Texas every other day, right? Where people are more divided and then they just blame each other. The world's getting worse. We're fighting in New York City now. The people who ride the subway are crushing other subway riders. That's what they're doing. They're crushing other subway riders. In fact, Blue Moon Red Wine says, perfect. Shut down the trains so that people already working 12-hour days to get fired from their jobs. Yes, you hurt nobody but your own people. Yes. Communities are breaking down even more. People aren't even, they're not even staying together with class. We don't even have class people staying together to help each other. At a minimum, I mean, not that I'm for class warfare, but at a minimum, shouldn't it be like subway riders against the non-subway riders at least? Not subway riders against each other? Shouldn't at least that be the case? He's right. Everyone sees it. It's getting worse. And he has an answer. You know what his answer is? Escape. That's his answer. But then he went to Romania. His answer is escape. That's what his answer is. Now, again, I don't think that's the right answer. I mean, for some people it might be. But this can't be a long-term solution for our nation. For our communities, just escape?
It's going to get worse. Do you think the subway in 10 years from now is going to be a better place? Do you think there's going to be less psychos on the New York subway in 10 years from now or more?
Is there anyone who thinks he's wrong with that? Is there any example? I gave my idea other day of my caring caboose. How to actually have a place for people who are in trouble to go get help, whether it's for addiction problem, whether it's a mental illness problem, to go get help in a subway, in a safe car, without cops or private security, sponsored by big companies who want to have their name on stuff. Companies want to market all day long. All day long. Put them on that. Now you're getting people helped. People know where to go. Cops don't have to beat people over the head. They can grab them and put them in the back. There you are, go. And then walk away and let them handle it. They can do that. Getting people into systems that actually work. I talk about housing, how to build housing that's tailored for certain people, that they don't throw you out because you pop on a piss test, because you're an addict. So of course you are. Of course you are. And these already exist. Prototypes of these already exist. I've been speaking about it for literally 5 years. Are any of these things going to play? No. Are you telling me the people who can fix these things don't know that I exist? Of course they do. I'm not trying to brag. I'm just being very forward. I have at least 5 or 6 Congress people in my cell phone that I could call. They know who I am. They can just go online and check my stuff. They could call me and say, Larry, give me a debrief on how to fix things. They don't. Why would they? You tell me that the governor of New York State literally used my talking points in her inaugural address. She used my talking points in her acceptance speech for the nomination for the Democratic Party. She's my talking points. She used them. Her people have them on my website. Of course they have. That's where they get talking points from. Call me up. Hey, Larry, why don't you come in and teach us how to do some stuff? Give us some ideas. No, nobody does. Nobody does. They all know me. They don't do anything. They don't know what I'm talking about. Nothing. They don't want to. Because the problems they see are for the brokies. They actually agree with everything Andrew Tate's saying. They agree. They 100% agree.
Think about that question and think about what's your plan to make sure you never have to ride the fucking subway again. You're showing me Delta Airlines and all these people fucking fight.
Do you hear what he just said? He said, show me your plan so that you don't have to ride a subway again. There's a bunch of young men going, he's right. When he says that, literally, and I'm not making this up, literally, tens of thousands of young men in America going, damn it, he's right, I need a plan to get out of this place. They're those people who might have been saying, how can I fix my community? How can I make my family better? How can I help people around me? How can I volunteer? They're going, no, I'm not doing that. I'm going to get a plan to get out of here because all you people around me, you're all brokies. He's turning them all into that. And you know whose fault it is? That's our fault. There shouldn't be a place for this, but there clearly is. There shouldn't be. We, as a society, as a culture, as a nation, we should be able to absorb our young men. We should be able to. But we haven't. There's a big space for a guy like him. That's why he's winning. The space is there. We've made it for him. We've set it up and made it worse. When we did the lockdowns, oh my God, it was already bad. Then we locked the country down and took an entire mini generation of young men and devastated them and crushed them. They couldn't go out. They couldn't have fun. They couldn't work. They couldn't go to school. They had to sit home online and look us up and try to find some kind of solutions for something. And what they find, Andrew Tate. He was right there. Thank you for recruiting for me. Thank you so much, guys. We recruited for him and we shoved him all right into his pocket. And that's where he is now.
And like savages, it's $50 a ticket. What the fuck do you expect? Of course. Of course.
He is literally laughing at his followers. Literally saying, you brokies, what's wrong with you? $50 a ticket. Of course, you're all he called them savages. His words, not mine. Savages. And people throw money at him. And people support him. Think of how broken we are. He's setting up a goal to say, ignore your community, check out. The goal is not to fix anything for the undeserved. They're undeserved, so avoid them. And you might think, well, that's kind of cruel. Democrats, mainstream Republicans, both agree with his thought process. Mainstream Democrats go, you're undeserved, to hell with you, go to jail. Go to jail, I don't care. Put you in jail, war on drugs, war on this, war on that, put you in jail. That's how they talk, and that's what they mean. Democrats also put you in jail too, 100%. But they will talk, but they don't want to do that. They will say, we're going to save you by giving you some third class, fourth class garbage system that they will make tons of money on by grifting for their friends. I'm not making that up. That's how they all get wealthy, giving out jobs to their friends. That's how they all make money. And in theory, they're servicing you. But who's the customer? The customer, there's the problem. The customer isn't you. Why does Andrew Tate get the service he wants? Because he's the customer. That's the reason. Why do people who are dealing with government programs not get what they want? Because they're not the customer. The customer is the politician who keeps giving the money out. That's the customer. So they have to keep the politician happy. Politicians keep them happy because they're also giving money back to each other. Yes, our taxpayer dollars goes back and forth between the wealthy. That's what actually happens. They're their own customers. We are in the way. We are just in the way. And when we're in the way, you get discarded. So we get discarded by both the left and the right. And I mean Democrats, Republicans. By Democrats, Republicans, we get discarded. And the thing that really this brought to my mind was, believe it or not, Occupy Wall Street. The idea behind Occupy Wall Street was a great idea. It was the idea of there's the 99% and the 1%, and the 1% is screwing us over. So let's, do something about that. I think amazing idea. Actually, when I was here in the city for that, obviously I live in New York City. You literally used to go downtown to eat lunch every day so that I could give the local businesses some money, because they were having to support the people who were protesting down there, right? Who were going to the bathrooms, trashing the place. So I literally got in the subway. Yes, I ride the subway. I still do. Ride the subway. I guess I'm a brokey. It's fine. Whatever. I head on down there, and I would eat lunch down there to support those stores. I wanted this to work. I thought it was a good idea. And what wound up happening? The elite said, wait a minute, this is some real stuff. This might affect us. Okay, we can't have this because we still need to make sure we're making our money, keeping the poors down, keeping the brokies broke. What are we going to do? I tell you what we'll do, we'll give them representation. How about that? We'll let a couple of them get money like us. We'll do that. And Occupy also said, that's a good idea. We're in, done. Sensitivity training and representation. Democrats about representation all the time. Sounds good. It's useless. Useless. I don't mean to be mean. It's useless. So now a black man is able to become super powerful. How does that help every other black person in the country? It does not. Now a woman gets to become super powerful. How does it help everybody else in the country? It does not. At all. So now some elite guy or gal, MSNBC is famous for this. They're all like Harvard, Princeton, Yale graduates with master's degrees and PhDs. They all make it. Great. They're all bazillionaires. Wonderful. What about us? We're not helped by that. They lied to us. They fooled us. They pulled the wool over our eyes. And we were like, yeah, okay, great. Now we have representation. That matters. It does not. I don't care. He doesn't care. They don't care. This was distraction because they were actually afraid Occupy Wall Street might actually work. So they threw distraction at us. And let's fight about some guy who dies on the subway. Let's make that the biggest issue of the day. Don't get me wrong, it's an issue, not the biggest of the day. Let's focus on culture war all day long. Meanwhile, Andrew Tate saying, who cares? Get in a private jet. And tens of thousands of young men are agreeing with him, and they're on the way to do it. They're going to abandon us when we need them most. When we need them most, those young men are going to abandon us.
I have none of them problems in my private jet. None of them problems in the private jet terminal. I don't go to the Brokey airport. I'm not with you guys in the lines. No, I go to a door around the side.
Look at how he blatantly dismisses us. The Brokey airport in your lines with all you people. Yet he is still super powerful, super wealthy, super popular, and making lots of money. He's correct. And he's teaching our young men that he is the right answer. Why? Because we don't have any better answers around us.
Mr. Tate, straight on board. I avoid all this shit. All this dumb shit is so easily avoided.
And the point is, you will find people who are wealthy say things like P. Diddy, more money, more problems. Well, I mean, maybe that's true. But the level of problem has nothing to do with, I can't eat. That's not one of your problems. You may have more problems if you're wealthy. That's probably true. The number of your problems may increase, yes, but the severity go down a whole lot. Your problems are nowhere. They're not like, how do I get my kid into the hospital? That's not your problem, right? You have more problems, but not the important ones. They're self-inflicted problems that you want to have because you want to be wealthy. I'm not mad at you for that. If you want to be wealthy, please be wealthy. I want to be wealthy. I want us all to be wealthy. I hope we're all wealthy. That's amazing. I hope all of our problems are not problems of I can't eat or put my kid into school or get into the hospital. I hope my problem is, I don't know, how am I going to buy my third car? That would be amazing. I hope we all have that problem. How am I going to get my third vacation home? Ugh, problems. I hope that's our problem. Now, I brought this whole thing up for many reasons, but the biggest one was because what he's actually doing is saying the quiet part out loud, and he's also validating a lot of what people on the left, as a general rule, say is a problem with America. He validates it. It's true. The question is, how do we fix it? His answer is, who cares? They're the brokies. Go get rich. To hell with them. That's his answer, right? You might go, Larry, it's a dumb answer. Where is he got another answer for young men? That's the only answer. Do that. The right says bootstraps or nothing, which is even worse. And the left says worry about culture war issues. That don't mean anything. Where are young men going to go? They go to him because our community is collapsing. Government isn't helping out communities. Government is crushing communities. Everything is doing that. So let me grab a couple comments. I know you guys are commenting on this. I appreciate it. As always, guys, please do me a favor. Hit that like button. It does matter. If you want to support the show so that I won't be a brokey, then do me a favor. Patreon.com/Shortway. Throw me $10 a month to support the show. Or if you don't care about the show, no worries, but you care about my political movement, also just as important, LarrySharpe.com/donate. Both help. Whatever you can give does matter. It is important. If you're watching on Twitter, please retweet this so that other people can see it. If you want to get your comment to the front, please, if you're watching on YouTube, you can always super chat me. All right, let me grab a couple of comments if I could. All righty. Let's see here. Patty says, question, do you take the subway? I do. I guess I'm a brokey, I guess. But yes, I do take the subway. Absolutely. I do Uber sometimes. It depends upon if I'm stuck on time here or there. Sometimes I Uber, but I also take the subway. I do both. I guess am I half brokey? Maybe I'm half brokey. I don't know. Whatever is the appropriate term. I guess I'm that. So yes. John says, you got to give credit where it's due, even if they're perceived as bad. Yeah, I agree. Right? You can still, everybody knows I do not like Andrew Cuomo in any way, shape, or form. He's a bad person. Absolutely. I do believe that in my heart. And I can still say he has charisma. Democrats liked him. I can still give him that. Absolutely, 100%. Still true. So yes. Logic likes the freight access idea. Yes. Right? If we actually, and I brought this up literally years ago. Now, 6 years ago now? 5 years ago now I brought that idea up. 5 years ago I brought this idea. The idea of allowing the freight to be run at night. For those who don't know, in New York City, in the subway system, at night, the trains only run about half or 1/3 of the speed because people aren't on during rush hour. They aren't on during the day, during tourism stuff. So they run less trains. Makes sense, right? Less people, less trains. Well, make every other train a freight train. So you can still run trains, but every other train's a freight train. And people will tell me, well, Larry, you can't really do that because freight trains are a different track, a different this, different everything. I know that. So that means they'll have to rebuild the train stations, rebuild the train tracks. Yes, we get a brand new system. Larry, that'll cost billions of dollars. Yes, it will. And the marketing budget of Amazon is $10 billion a year. The marketing budget. Doesn't go anything else. They could easily pay that. Add a FedEx or a Google or a UPS. They all throw $1 billion to or so. Done. That's paid for. Done. Brand new system, brand new tracks, brand new trains. And again, they don't care about you on the subway at all. You don't matter to them, but their freight does matter. So they must keep that safe. To keep the freight safe, they got to keep you safe. That's how that works. They can't have you shut it down, so they got to keep you happy. You become the customer. They're paying for it. Now we give them hubs and things of that sort. Why they do that? Here's the reason why. You don't have to have trucks now in the city anymore. No need for massive trucks in the city. Less wear and tear on the roads, less emissions for you green people, less emissions in the actual city, less trucks hitting cars, hitting bikes, hitting pedestrians, less deaths, all that stuff. Less trucks in the city. Why wouldn't you want less trucks in the city? I now have freight. So maybe you're going to have some vans in a city here or there. People can even walk or bike, right? There are people who are doing that right now. You can do that too. Makes everything better. And it's all brand new, being paid for. They now have to, they don't own it. They lease it. You might say, Larry, why would they build it if they're going to lease it? Because it'll be a long-term lease, and it's the way commercial works. If you rent a commercial space, you build it out. That's what you do. You build it out so you can have it for X number of years. Do a 10, 20-year lease. They build the whole thing out, and then lease it every year. They pay a lease. So if they're paying for it and they rebuilt it, the price gets to come down. So now the average brokey gets to pay less for their subway. I did a white paper on the whole deal. It was on my website. Nobody cared. But yes, it is. Thank you, Blue Moon Red Wine. It is a good idea. Yes, absolutely. Patty says, they don't want me to go live off the grid in my hobbit house. I'm too dangerous. I like that. I'm a brokey with a voice. That's a problem, Patty. You don't get to have that voice. Absolutely. Yes. Sam says, existence of Andrew Tate as an influencer is the exact reason why we can't have a direct democracy. Oh, because you think people will vote for Andrew Tate? I think I'd rather have him. And that may sound crazy, but the reality of it is, if you have someone who's honest like that, I don't know if he's honest, I'm sorry, open like that. I don't know if he's honest, but open like that, then at least we could see it. The problem is most people believe that their side is good. But if you vote Democrat all the time, you think your Democrats are better than Republicans. If you vote Republican, you think your Republicans are better than Democrats. They're not. They're all Andrew Tate. They speak differently because they want to make sure that they get elected, but they're all Andrew Tate. I think I'd rather have him if I had a choice. At least we'd see it. I'd be able to point it out. And if we still got the same thing with the guy saying the quiet part out loud, we deserve it then. I don't know, maybe I'm crazy. So, but yeah. Justin says, the problem is, Larry, people are so close-minded these days that even the reference of his name automatically shuts down the ability to convince any of his thoughts or ideas as holding any value, which is a huge problem. This is the issue. And this goes, I guess, to my point with you, Sam. What the left and right do all the time is character assassination. It's a common tactic. They don't want to talk about fixing a problem. They don't want to talk about the idea itself. So character assassination. They do it to me all the time. He's a loony libertarian, so don't listen to him. Does that mean it? Are you saying that his ideas are bad? I'm not saying that, because it's not true. They just go, he's a loony libertarian. They'll simply find a reason why I'm bad and won't listen. It's true. But then the opposite is true. If a person is seen as good, whatever good is in your eyes, then they must be right. So if I hate socialists, then all the Republicans are good because they're not socialists. Or if I hate Trump, all Democrats are good because I hate Trump. They're just good because. Meanwhile, the individual who decides to be a Republican Democrat is just Andrew Tate with the shirt on. That's it. Andrew Tate with a shirt on. That's all. So yes, absolutely. Amber says, exactly, they are the same bullies. This is the hardest thing for people to understand who don't live in a city like this. It's a city of being bullied. And if you don't want to be bullied, you got to be Andrew Tate, or you have to join the government. That's it. Super wealthy, or join the government. Then you don't get bullied. Otherwise, you just get bullied. That's how it works. So yes. So anyway, Joel says, just get rich. I wish I had thought of that. But the point is, right? It's just funny, but the point is, he is right. Like, that is an answer. And it shouldn't be. Like, it shouldn't be just because I get rich. Now I don't have to worry about all the BS the poor people worry about. It shouldn't be that simple. We should be far more equal in our day-to-day life, in our conversations, in our communities. We should be, but he's right. That actually is an answer, Joel. I mean, it is. Get rich and done. He got arrested and now he's out making more money. What person who's a, quote, brokey gets arrested, comes out, makes more money? Only rich people get that. Only rich people get that. Right? Biden's kids get ready to get to jail. He's in trouble, making tons of money. Trump got already officially arrested already. He's making money. They're all making money. I don't care what side you're on. They're all making money. The only people not making money is us. Everybody else making money. So, yes. Anyway, Patty goes on to say, why can't they find you, Larry, a strong, caring, intelligent role model? Oh, thank you. Why aren't there more influencers like you? I don't know, Patty. Not enough people are clicking the like button. Click the like button. Not enough of doing that. The issue is, I think, in many cases, there's a personality that sometimes goes along with that I may not have, to be frank with you, right? I remember my wife once told me, and she was kind of teasing, but kind of not. She said, Larry, sometimes I wish you were more ruthless. And I said, I could be that. But if I'm more ruthless, it doesn't just happen in business. It happens in my life. It's who I would be. Do you want a husband who's ruthless? Maybe you do. I'm not sure you do. So I think the personality does matter in that regard. I had a friend of mine the other day, I was on the phone with him, and he's like, Larry, a lot of people think because I'm a lawyer, I make tons of money. I said, no, brother, I know you don't. He goes, what do you mean? I said, you're ethical. A joke, but true. He got it. He laughed. So yeah, maybe I got to be, should I take my shirt off and put a cigar and start yelling about how the pores are bad? Maybe I'll do that, Patty. Maybe I'll get some more people to follow me. I guess I could try it. We'll see. We'll see if it will work. I don't know. So Jeremy says, hasn't escape, in quotes, always been the American way? Look at the Rust Belt in this country. Every major metropolitan area is beginning to look a lot like Detroit. Always been the American way. And the Rust Belt. I'm not sure, Jeremy, how you link those two. Are you saying people just want to escape? I feel like yes, but let's see if I can do a yes, but with you if this makes sense. I think many Americans want to escape the bad things they saw, but their goal was to go someplace else and create a better community. And then once they got here and found a good community, I think most Americans wanted to keep a good community. They try to have and retain a good community. There was a time in America where many people lived in the same town, city, and they tried to build that community up, had roots in the community. I think that was common once they left the bad community in either Europe or South America or wherever they came from, Asia, where they came from. I'm not sure that same thing is true. I think in this case, people are not trying to keep their community strong. The communities aren't strong, right? And the Rust Belt, I guess in that case, does show the community has collapsed. Detroit has collapsed. So I'm not sure where you're going with that. I'm not sure if that, maybe I misunderstood you. I apologize if I did. ABD says New Yorkers keep voting for the same people over and over again and results never change. It's the definition of insanity. I would argue two things. Number one, doing the same thing again and again and hoping for another outcome is the definition of humanity. Most people do that all the time. Literally playing the lottery, the slot machine. That's what it is. People do it all the time. It is normal. The crazy people are those who don't do that. So ABD, I would argue the opposite is true. Doing the same thing over and over again without change is the definition of humanity. Insanity is someone who doesn't do that. Think about this. I crossed this state more than once. I was on TV, I was on big podcasts telling people the answers. And I had people tell me to my face, Larry, I can't vote for you because, I have to send a message. That's what I got all the time. I got to send a message. Who send a message to? Well, if I vote for Trump, that sends a message that we here in New York don't only do left or right, whatever. No, you didn't. You sent a message. Nobody cares about what your dumb vote for Trump. Nobody cares. I got to vote for Hochul because that sends a message that we don't care about Trump. No one cares about your dumb vote for Hochul. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Hochul's going to win. Your vote's irrelevant unless you vote for somebody else. But they keep doing it. And it wasn't like a couple people did it. Literally millions did it. So I would argue, ABD, that your definition is definition of humanity. That is the norm. Not doing it is actually odd. But specifically in New York, and I guess in a way in other parts of the country, there is no choice. People in New York State, and I'm sure the states can follow this. I know New York, maybe your state, if you don't live in New York, is the same. You don't have a democracy. The parties choose who will be the nominee, and then the districts are gerrymandered so that nominee wins. You don't have a choice. The party says, here is our nominee, and it's gerrymandered so that person wins. So the parties pick who your leader is. Your leader is selected in New York State, not elected. They're selected. And that's not a joke. If you think I'm wrong, tell me. That's the truth. And the problem is, to your point, though, ABD, which is people keep accepting this again and again and again. They just keep accepting it. If they would stop accepting it, it would change. But they just keep doing it. Yes. Sam says, France beheaded Marie Antoinette. We give Andrew Tate a following and money. You're not wrong, Sam. You're not wrong. Absolutely. An entire population of brainwashed people cheering for their bread and circuses as elites steal from them. Yes, right. This goes to this idea. Representation as a concept is the same as the Yankees and the Red Sox. Why do I say that? When I was growing up as a kid, I mean, still here now, but it was big in the 70s, Yankees, Red Sox rivalry. Still exists today, right? It was big then. And we'd be happy as kids if the Yankees beat the Red Sox. Was our life any better? No. No, but we felt good. Why? Because our team won. Now that's sports, and sports is great. It wasn't like our life, and we still went out and did things. It wasn't our whole life. We loved the Yankees when I was a kid. I grew up in the Bronx as a kid. We loved the Yankees. We cared if they won. We wanted them to win. We cared about each player. We wanted them to be healthy. It mattered to us, right? Because it was important. But we still did our schoolwork, still went off to class, still got jobs, right? Still did that. We now today are living our entire lives for the Yankees. That's not healthy, right? That's not healthy. We're living our lives for an Andrew Tate or for an AOC or for Donald Trump or for whatever. We're living our lives for these people. Not a good idea. Not a good idea because they're winning and we're losing. And we're not even taking the time. And again, I don't mind if you like AOC or Trump or Tate or whoever you like. You can like them, clap and be happy if they win, support them when you can. All good. But it shouldn't be your life. And in many cases, it is. It absolutely is. Yes. So is it, I hope I say it right. Is it Kaiwan? I hope I said that right. Kaiwan calendar. Are you actually okay with Andrew Tate and Marvel? And I think you know what people, I don't know what you're saying. I'm not sure what you're saying. Am I okay with Andrew Tate? I explained early on, I didn't really know him well at all. I saw Andrew Tate prior to this kind of as like a guy who was like a help you pick up chicks guy, the pickup artist type guy. Then I thought maybe it was a manosphere guy. So that's what I thought of basically of who he was. I didn't realize he only came into my feed. I never even had him on my feed before. Only had him come into my feed because he was doing this New York subway thing, which I'd been doing a lot of work on. So I guess the algorithm put us together. So I haven't had much of an opinion on him at all, to be forward with you. Now he looks like another pompous guy who's convinced young men to give him lots of money. I guess is what I think about him. I don't know if that's good or not. I don't know what you mean by Marvel. I don't know what you mean by that. I apologize, Klein. Maybe I'm out of the loop here. This usually isn't my world. For me to be doing something with Andrew Tate, this is the first time ever. So there may be other things in this world that you know that I don't know. So I'm ignorant here. Please be clearer for someone like me who doesn't know this world. So, okay. Matt says, I don't feel like he's making young men abandon anybody. I think he's making them accountable to themselves. Individualism is the only thing you can actually control. I think there's an argument for that. Matt, I think there's an argument for that. I agree there's an argument for that. And this is why I say this is what young men want. We're just saying accountability. My problem is with this is my concern, my problem. I guess in this case, I'm not okay with this part. I guess Kai wanted to answer your question. Is you can still do this, but do this for family and community. From what I hear from him, what I see from him, he is not about family and community. Now, maybe I've misread him. And if Matt, if you know something I don't know, again, I'm ignorant to this. Show me. I'm happy to be wrong here. From what I've seen, from the clips I've seen from him, I don't watch his stuff at all. This is the only video I've ever watched of him. I've only seen clips. From the clips that I've seen and this video, it sounds to me like he's not saying help your community. He's not saying help your family. He's saying go out and be great. To hell with the poors, to hell with the plebes, to hell with the brokies. If I'm wrong, I'm happy to be wrong. I'm telling you what I see from him. And this matches what the rest of society is telling us in general. It's saying, just make sure you're the one guy up top or one gal up top, and you're the representation of awesomeness, and the rest of the people can suffer. So again, Matt, if I'm wrong, I'm happy to be wrong. I'm ignorant to this stuff. So yes. So all right. Kawan goes on to say, can you explain how New York is? You are really asking some broad questions, my friend. Why is New York so left over the past 20 years to 2000s? Can you explain it for me real quick, Larry? I don't know what you're asking. So New York has never been, ever been a real liberal state. It's always been a conservative state. And people go, what? It has been. Absolutely true. Our Democrats do a lot of Republican stuff constantly. So is Kathy Hochul, right? Of all the states around us, the age of consent for sex is 16 in every bordering state, 17 in New York State. New York State's the only state in the entire area that has thrown out cryptocurrency, that has moderated cannabis, that we've moderated cannabis. We've thrown out vaping. We love old money. We hate new money. So New York State isn't as liberal as you would think it is. I mean, I live here. I know how it works, right? Do we sometimes do the liberal things when it comes to, sometimes social issues? I think yes, right? When it comes to things like LGBTQ rights, GSM rights, 100%. We have been liberal more than almost maybe California and San Fran beats us. Besides that, we've been very open on that. I mean, that part we never cared. I mean, I never cared. Even when I was younger, I didn't care. I had may sound funny for some of you, back in the 2010s, before we even talking about trans people, my IT person was trans. I didn't care. When I ran for office in 2018, my policy chief was trans. I never even mentioned it. Those people asked me, right? If they asked me, I said, but otherwise I didn't say anything. I didn't care. So whatever. I didn't ask, right? People would ask me questions about her, like, is she into guys or gals? I'm like, I don't know. Why don't you know? Because I don't care. I didn't ask her. I'm not dating her. What the hell do I care? I don't care. Just you're a person doing work. I don't care. I think we've been good that way, but when it comes to other things, we have not been good at all. So I hope that's clear. So, all right. Let me see if we can go on here. John goes on to say, there aren't enough Larrys because they're all being shadow banned. Yes, and yes. Absolutely. Thank you, John. That's yes. Absolutely. Yes. Catherine says, choice democracy is an illusion. Right now it is for sure. I mean, absolutely, that's true for sure. Absolutely. I do appreciate that. Guys, I'm going to ask you one more time. Click that like button if you would. I do appreciate that, right? Please do it if you can. It does matter. I can't tell you enough how much it matters. Please retweet this on Twitter so people can see this. I hope this show is interesting, bringing something that's cultural into a world that isn't always cultural. We don't almost about culture, showing how someone like an Andrew Tate really is a product of what we've created, whether you like him or not, right? Whether you think he's helping. I mean, I think to Matt's point, there is an argument that he is preaching individualism and that some young men will absolutely be helped by this. I think that's true. I think some young men will be helped by this. Absolutely. The question is, will those young men come back to their communities or not? Will those young men build strong families or not? Will those young men help rebuild their cities and states and towns and nation or not? I don't think we know. I hope I'm wrong and they all come back and they, become wealthy and rich and powerful and manly and all the cool things. And I hope they come back and have good families and communities and states. I hope that's true. I don't know if that's true. I don't think we know. And the job that Andrew Tate's doing right now should be done by family. It's not being done by family. It's not being done by family. It's not being done by community. It's not being done by government. It's not being done by these people. It's just not. That's why he can do what he does. Clearly, there is a need and a want for what he's selling, obviously. And our communities are not delivering it. So he's picking up the cash. Good for him. I hope in the long run, it does not end negatively and it ends positively. That is my only hope. I hope that will work. Guys, thank you so much for watching today. I'm going to be back on again. By the way, tonight I'm on Kennedy, 7 p.m. on Fox Business News. Please check me out. And I'm on again 3 times today. I'm on again 9 p.m. on the Sharp Club with 3 amazing guests talking about the urban and the rural rift and how that is affecting us all. So please check me out today on Fox Business News Kennedy at 7 and then right back here, the Sharp Club, 9 p.m. I will see you all very soon.